And today we're talking about perseverance. We all have to persevere through things. Sometimes when there's difficulty that come our way, trouble and trials and tribulations, and some things are just so hard for us to get accomplished. But we just can't just give up. We have to persevere. We have to persevere and fight through it. Perseverance is the persistence in doing something despite of the difficulty. So despite how hard it is, we got to stay in there and say, look, I don't see it now. We can accomplish this. We can get it done. We always got to hope. Okay. We always have to hope. All right. Perseverance gives me proof of what I believe in. Yes, it gives me proof of what I believe in, because whatever I believe in, I have to hope. Okay. I have to hope. So I might not see it right now, but if I stay in there and be persistent, right, and persevere through all the hardship, right, what I believe in, I will accomplish it. We'll be right back with more. We're going to go more in detail about perseverance when we come back. We're back, and we're talking about perseverance. All right. Now, we all know life is hard. All right. And we would love for everything to be easy. Easy money, easy way to make income, an easy life without worries and problems. But the problem with easy is sometimes we are achieving without effort and discomfort. We want everything to go our way without putting any effort into it. We just want it easy. Easy, 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 easy. We don't want no problems. We don't want the discomfort. Right? We just want it easy. And that's the problem with easy. Easy is sometimes achieving without effort. And the reason why I say sometimes, because sometimes easy, meaning that it's easy because you're mastered in circumstance, means that I'm so good at this, I mastered it, and it's just easy to me. And I'm not talking about that type of easy. Okay? We're talking about the easy where there's no effort. You don't have to give no effort. And there's no discomfort. Right? You're working at something and you're like, okay, I'm going to stop working at it because there's discomfort. There's difficulties. Most of us want easy. Is like, okay, I just want to do this. I don't want no problems. When problems come, we just walk away or we just give up. We want everything just fed to us without effort. That's the easy I'm talking about. When difficulties come, you're either going to quit or compromise. So when the difficulties come, either you're going to quit or compromise. Okay? So easy sometimes, like, we want everything easy. I have no problems. Everything's just given to me, right? But when the difficulties come, either I'm going to quit or I'm going to compromise. Okay? So quit means I can't handle the difficulty. I can't handle the discomfort. When compromise means, okay, I'm going to take the easy way out. And what do I mean by that? And why I say that? When we compromise, we are accepting standards that are lower than desirable. Difficulties sometimes create fear that causes us not to persevere. All right. So when that difficulty comes, when that problem comes, we're like, okay, I can't handle it. I'm not going to persevere through this. I cannot persevere through it because I can't handle the difficulty. I can't handle the discomfort. I can't handle it. It's stressing me out. It's too much. It's too much. So are we going to quit or are we going to compromise? Compromise is like, okay, I'm taking an easy way out. So if I compromise with something or I compromise with circumstance, or okay, I'm allowing something to be done that I don't want done, but I have to do it because I'm compromising. Doesn't fit my values. But for me to accomplish this, I have to compromise. But what I have to compromise with don't fit my values. So I'm facing difficulty here. I'm facing discomfort. So am I going to compromise or am I going to quit? Or am I going to persevere? So I'm not going to quit because I don't want to give up. I'm not going to compromise. I'm going to persevere. Right? So I'm going to persevere. I'm going to keep at it, even despite of these difficulties that I see. Even though I'm having fear. Fear. The fear is the things that could happen to me while I'm facing these difficulties. So am I going to allow the fear to continue or am I going to persevere? Yeah. There's pros and there's cons. I know this could happen to me. It could happen to me. So it could happen to me. Sometimes maybe I might be assuming the worst. Or I'm going to live in hope and persevere. Difficulty sometimes creates fear that causes us not to persevere. We're talking about more perseverance when we come back. Perseverance. There is no love in fear. So fear should not drive out our will. So we have a will to do something. We should not allow fear to come in, bring us difficulties, bring us discomfort, and drive us out. Because love always perseveres. Why am I telling you that? Why am I telling you love always perseveres? The reason why is because love always performs. Always performs. And every time your family member or your kids make a mistake, do you stop loving them? Or your family members or your kids is giving you problems, do you stop loving them? No. You persevere through the difficulty. You persevere through the discomfort because love always performs. So love always perseveres. Love doesn't give up. It doesn't give up. It doesn't quit. So if we decide to quit because of the difficulty and the discomfort and the stress, we're like, well, I just give up. That means we stop loving. That means we allow discomfort and fear to drive us out from our will. We're not persevering. And persevering is part of love. Love lasts forever. Love lasts forever. So despite of the difficulty, I'm going to persevere because love always perform, and love lasts forever. There is a persistency to love. Love is persistent, even through the tough times. So, we sometimes we look at marriages and people get divorces. We're going through some problems, we're going to get a divorce. They couldn't handle the difficulty. They couldn't handle their discomfort. So they stopped loving each other. So that means they never loved each other, because love is persistent even through tough times. Love always performs. Love never gives up. The Word of God says in 1 Corinthians 13:7, the Word of God teaches us that love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love always perseveres. We'll be right back with more perseverance. A husband and a wife's wedding vows. They take each other for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love, to cherish, and from this day forward until death do us part. The bias of this pledge is the fact that love always perseveres. Being steady and never wavering is the way we should be. Persevere all the way to the end. Jesus is the master of persevering. He loved us who were in the world. He loved us all the way to the end, despite of the difficulty that he faced. Jesus persevered for us. So we should always persevere, because love always perseveres. What does it mean to be steadfast? To be steadfast is to remain faithful, even when difficulties come against us. Okay? So we're going to remain faithful, even when the difficulties come against us. Right? We're going to remain in hope. If you allow difficulties and fear to come against your faithfulness, you are no longer persevering and walking in love. So whatever I believe in, and I allow difficulties and fear to come against that, where I have to quit or compromise, like I said earlier, then I am no longer walking in the pursuit of love. I am no longer persevering. In fact, I am also losing tolerance. I'm no longer persevering, and I'm losing tolerance. Why do I say you're losing tolerance? Anyone who is able to give up their core beliefs because of difficulty has no patience. And patience is part of love. And love is patience. Patience is part of love. So if you can't tolerate something, not only you stop persevering, you have no patience. Love always perseveres, and love is patience. We'll be back with more perseverance. We're back with perseverance. You cannot persevere without trust. Why am I telling you that? Because you cannot persevere without believing in something. So you have to trust what you believe in. So if you do not trust, you cannot persevere. Let's say let's use sports, for example, and you have a coach. So if your coach believes that you can win a championship, but if you don't trust your coach, If you don't believe what your coach is saying, you don't believe that you can win a championship, and you don't trust your coach, then you can't persevere because you're not giving it your all. All you see is difficulties. You see the reason why you can't win a championship. But if your coach says you can win the championship, and you trust your coach, and you trust what he's saying to you, and you believe you can win a championship, then you're persevering. But as soon as you stop believing, you stop persevering. So when a person stops persevering, they stop trusting. When they stop trusting, there's belief issues. Okay? Because love always trusts. Love is patient. All right? So love is patient. I'm able to tolerate difficulties. Love always trusts. And love always perseveres. Always perseveres. Perseverance. Perseverance gives me proof of what I believe in. It gives me proof. Because I told you that love always trusts. So if I trust, it means I believe. Because I have to trust, I have to believe in that person to trust them, right? So trust and belief comes together. So if I have to trust, it means I can persevere and I can believe that I see the result, right? I don't see the result right this instant, but there is a result. I have to trust and believe that what you're telling me, that there's a result. This is going to be the result. So I have to hope in that result. I have hope in that result. So why do I say that perseverance gives me proof? Because once I persevere, despite of difficulties and in hardship, that result that I hope for will come to the end because I persevered. Yes, through all the hardship, through all the difficulty, was it worth it? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was not easy, but it was worth it. Perseverance gives me proof of what I believe in. Because it is the evidence of the result I have hope in. It's the evidence of the result I have hope in. So love always perseveres. When we come back, we talk about how should we face difficulty as we persevere when we come back. How do we always persevere through difficulties? The answer is to always hope and live in patience. And this topic about perseverance is for all of us, including myself. Tolerate difficult temporary problems and never assume the worst is how we persevere. We're able to tolerate temporary problems. The reason why I say temporary problems is because these problems don't last that long. And our mind sometimes assumes the worst. And we can look at, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow the think like that. I'm not going to allow my mind to think that way. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to hope. I'm going to believe. I'm going to always believe. I'm going to always hope. I'm going to always live for the best and never give up no matter what. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to persevere. Perseverance. And the Word of God talks about this in Romans 5:3-4. And not only this, but we also exalt in our tribulations. So in our troubles, we exalt, right? We can shout for joy. Knowing in our tribulations brings about perseverance. And perseverance proves our character, makes our character better. And when our character is good, it brings hope. Perseverance gives me proof of what I believe in. Perseverance gives me proof in what I believe in. It's the evidence of what I believe in. Because the more I persevere, the more I walk in my faith and what I believe in, despite of tribulations, I can get happy because there is my reward. I'm your transformation coach, Trey Knowles, and thank you for watching Truth and Knowledge. This has been an episode about perseverance. Grace and peace, and may God bless.